Coachella Valley, and welcome to Live with Your Chamber. I'm your host, Katie Stice, CEO at the Rancho Mirage Chamber of Commerce, and I'm super excited for our guest today. It's an amazing business in the Valley. It's an incredible business owner, and also just a really bright, fun place. So if you are tuning in live, say hello, let us know where you're watching from, and stay tuned and learn a little bit more about this amazing and super cool small business. We'll bring out our guest today, Trish from Trishtacsew. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Oh my gosh. So thrilled to have you here because we have a lot to cover. You've got exciting news coming up, exciting events coming up. But before we jump into those things, tell us a little bit about Trishtacsew and how you got into the business.
Trishtacsew is my sewing school where I teach both kids and adults how to sew. So my school really focuses on beginners, people who are just getting into sewing. Somebody maybe have given them a sewing machine that's still in the box and they don't know how. They're just too afraid to take it out of the box. They can bring it here and I can help them get more comfortable with their machine. So I do private lessons, but mainly I do group lessons. So we get people together and I do kids separately. I teach kids separately than adults. And we'll meet once a month. You pick a day and you come once a month and we do introductory, very easy, very casual, very fun projects to get you more comfortable with your sewing machine. So it's been a little bit of a explosion of creativity these last 2 years while people have been stuck in their homes. So there's a lot of people willing to, wanting to get out there and find their creativity. And I'm hoping they can find me and I can help them get there.
Absolutely. Well, you are just such a joy to be around, and your space is bright and joyful and fun as well. And I know we're going to talk about that in just a minute, but tell us what kind of classes you have and what different times are they? I mean, are there a lot of options for people is it dependent on like the project or experience?
Right now, I am teaching, I teach every day. I teach like Monday through Thursday, have my group classes. And then Friday, I kind of keep separate for private lessons. And then once a month, I'll do some group classes for people who might not be able to make it on the weekdays. So I teach Monday classes for my adults. Our beginner projects. We do about 4 to 6 beginner projects, and all my adult classes are from 10 to noon. And then, or if you are working during the day, you can come to my evening classes, which meet 6:30 to 8:30. And then my kids classes meet every day after school, Mondays through Thursday, from 4:30 to 6. So the kids classes are only an hour and a half. Sure. Their attention span is a little shorter than adults. So the adults are like, no, we cannot go home. So they're 2 hours long. And that still isn't even enough. Everybody, my space is really beautiful and bright. And I'm hoping to make it really inspiring for people. So nobody ever wants to leave. That's my goal.
I believe that. I believe that about you 100%. Now, before we get into some of the other questions that we have coming up, I heard you talk about the adult classes and beginner projects. What's an example of a beginner project?
So the very first thing I teach students to do, whether they're adults or kids, we get used to the vocabulary of the sewing machine so they know what I'm talking about. And then we talk about safety. I have had some people sew through their fingers, and so have I, and that's not very fun. So they end up on my Hall of Pain wall. So that's the most important thing we talk about in the beginning. So we do a very simple project, which is a bookmark. And that teaches people how to do straight line sewing. We talk about seam allowance, what that means, and how to keep it really consistent. And a bookmark is simple. And then I have people go home and they say, I've made like 15 bookmarks for all my friends. So it's a really good practice to understand the construction of something to begin with. And then from there, we build on those particular foundations and we make a little pouch that I was calling, it was a mask pouch because we were all using masks, and it's a little pouch you can put your mask in. And then we go on from the mask pouch to a little zipper pouch, which learn how to do zippers,
Yeah.
and you can use that for a pencil case. And then from there, we do a little more technically advanced stuff,
Yeah.
but it's all really building from each project to each project. And then
How
after those
fun.
4 to 6 beginner projects that I
Mhm.
provide all the supplies for, so nobody has to worry about what am I
Okay.
supposed to bring? What am I going to
Sure.
do? Where do I
Sure.
go and shop? I don't have them worry about that. I just, provide that here. And then after they're more comfortable with the terminology, because that, a
Mhm.
lot of it is what scares people. They don't understand how to read the patterns. They don't
Sure.
understand what is a seam allowance, what is the stuff that they talk about in these instructions.
Yeah.
After they're a little more familiar with that, then they start to bring in their own materials, and I help them understand what they need for their supplies.
Well, I am just like so excited. I'm getting all kinds of comments over here talking people that love you. You've got fans. You're a wonderful
Aw.
instructor, people that love to crochet. But I almost feel like as I'm listening to you talk about it, like this is like the new paint night. Like this is a whole other way of getting together with your friends, getting creative. It sounds like so much fun. And I'm really excited to tell everyone who is watching right now you have a grand opening coming up. Let me put
I
the date on the
do.
screen. So you just moved into an even bigger space because you've got so many people that you're teaching now. But tell us a little bit about the grand opening.
So I'm in the same building, so I didn't move very far, but my last space was only 800 square feet, and I
Mhm.
moved 2 doors down, and so now my space is about 1,800 square feet. So I gained so much more space, so much more light, and the grand opening is going to be March 11th. I'm
Mhm.
really excited because not only am I going to be teaching classes, I'm hoping to get a lot of really fun, bright modern fabric and
Mhm.
patterns and kits and notions. Probably we'll start supplying embroidery supplies too, because I love to hand sew.
Wow.
And so that will be kind of a one-stop shop. If you come and you're like, oh my goodness, I forgot my supplies, just go out to the retail area and pick up some of your supplies. So that's really exciting and a new venture for me. So on the grand opening, I'm going to have some giveaways.
Mhm.
So if you come in person, you can enter a raffle to win a private lesson from me, and then I'm going to have some giveaways from my retail suppliers.
I love it. So, for everyone who's out there watching, the phone number is on your screen, the website is on your screen. Take a visit, take a peek, and definitely plan on joining us at the grand opening and open house March 11th from 3 to 5. It's going to be a lot of fun. Trish is amazing.
Thank
It's
you.
incredible to see all of the great things in our valley. And thank you so much for doing this because I think it's just a great, a creative outlet and a great option for people.
It's empowering as
Yeah.
well, and sewing creates community. So I hope that this will be a community that people really love to come to and get together and be creative.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing a little bit more about you. I can't wait till March 11th. It's going to be a blast. We're going to continue to put it out there into the community and invite folks to come and see how special you are and your spaces as well. And thanks again for all that you do. Again, you've got a ton of comments out here from all of your fans. So we appreciate
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much.
You got it. We'll see you soon, my friend.
Okay, bye.
And thanks so much for joining us on another episode of Live with Your Chamber. It's such a pleasure to bring you the stories from our local business owners and professionals who are so passionate about what they do. And like Trish, even after the past few years that have been really difficult, it's amazing to see that she's grown into a bigger space and offering even more and expanding her business. But it's up to you, the community, to come on out and support our local businesses. So please don't hesitate to come on out. I'll put it back on the screen. March 11th, 3 to 5. We look forward to seeing you then. And last but not least, thanks so much to our sponsors, KESQ, News Channel 3, and CBS Local 2 for helping to support chambers, small businesses, and the community as well. If there's a way that we can help support you professionally or your business, please don't hesitate. Let us know. That's what your Chamber of Commerce is here for. We'll see you soon, everyone. Take care.